All right, hello everyone. Sean here again from Life Raft and Survival Equipment. Now I'm just going to show you a few different types, your main types of life jackets. You basically have your, what I like to call your standard types, which are your single cylinder, single valve systems, and your maybe SOLAS or your higher Newton life jackets, such as the Challenger here, which is 275 Newton, and the 275 Newton SOLAS spin lock 2 as well. So you've seen these before. Everybody's seen 5Ds and 6Ds and Mustangs. So you got the Mustang, hydrostatic release. You know, look at that dial, check your dates, make sure your little dot is green and not red. Then you got your 6Ds here, which are going to be your elite firing capsules, and there's your window for that there. That's going to be your 33-gram cylinders, your elite firing capsules there. That's what I consider standard, along with your 5D here, which, as you saw previously, is the MK5 black firing capsules, but don't let the color fool you. They do come in different colors. And there's your window there for that. Make sure you're double green in there. And that's going to be another of your standard setups. Now, if I put this off to the side real quick. So here is a SOLAS or MED. See a little wheel. These are going to be dual valve systems. So it's a 275 Newton, which to me means a 60-gram cylinder. And the firing mechanism for this one would actually be the bobbin. So the bobbin, if we unscrew this, is a little yellow disc that dissolves and releases the spring. So there's that, and there's your little yellow disc there. That'll dissolve because it compresses this spring down, and when it dissolves, it can no longer compress the spring, firing the firing pin, firing your cylinder. Top tip on these: when you go to rearm this, don't try to put the cylinder in first. Put the bobbin and the cap on first, because right now the firing pin is set in the fire position. So as you're screwing in your cylinder, you're eventually going to hit the pin and fire it off. I've seen it happen. I've even done it. So from this point here, to rearm something like this, again, here's my valve, here's my bobbin. Now the bobbin has these little grooves in them, so you can only put them in match with these grooves, and it's slightly cantilevered to one side. So if you try to shove it in like this, it's going to want to fight you. And if you're not matching with the grooves, you're probably not going to get anywhere. You're going to find yourself trying to jam it in with a screwdriver or something. If you have to aggressively put this in, something is wrong, because it should just simply, once you get your grooves matched up, rotate it around, you'll find it should just drop right in. If you can't just drop it right in, something's not right. Right here, get my cap back on. And you'll notice that while I'm doing this, that red is going away and it's being filled in by green. So now my firing pin is back in the position it's supposed to be in, and I'm green, and I can safely screw in a cylinder. I'll grab a cylinder real quick and show you. All right, here is a 60-gram cylinder. That go right in here like this. Now 275 Newton's life jacket has a very big bladder. It's for deep ocean. If you're going to be in high waves, bad weather, ocean passages, something like that. That's where you see a lot of these life jackets pop up. So let me go ahead and take this off and see. Now, like I said, you should see some sort of printing somewhere. Look, 60-gram CO2. That way you know what to put in there. So by opening your life jacket, we'll teach you how to rearm your life jacket and repack it. This one just closes by Velcro. There's dozens and dozens of different models of life jacket, which is why you should be familiar with what you have. And again, safety equipment must be maintained. Check your cylinders for corrosion. Check your bobbin. Your bobbins are about 3 years. So every 3 years you want to put a fresh bobbin in there. It's not that the life jacket will fail. It'll go off when you don't want it to go off, because your bobbin will eventually break down and the spring will release and you'll fire off. And there's two sides. So there's one on this side and one on this side. So this uses two 60-gram cylinders and two bobbins. One is a fail-safe for the other one. One will inflate the life jacket completely, but they do dual inflate, and there's a PRV valve at the bottom of the oral inflation valve in these life jackets. right here. It's a pressure release valve at the bottom, so when pressure builds, it'll come out the top until it balances back out. And there's going to be 2 oral inflation valves on a SOLAS life jacket or an MED qualified life jacket. It'll either have one on the front and one on the back, or it'll have one on each side. It's up to you to open your life jacket and find where these things are. So let's get that back in there. And this is a simple Velcro system, and as you can see, bobbin valve on the other side too as well. Now, move on to the Spinlock SOLAS. The Spinlock SOLAS opens like this, opens like the other Spinlocks did. The repack is pretty much the same. You can either have or not have a spray hood, depending on what you put on there. There is an attachment point for it. But as you can see, the Spinlock SOLAS version here, they don't have D-rings because it's not a typically sailing life jacket. It's more of along the lines of a work life jacket. Somebody working on a deck of a maybe fancy yacht, motor yacht, maybe somebody working for the wind farm, things like that. And this is going to have, again, see, dual pull handles. So that means there's going to be a cylinder on this side and a cylinder on this side. And they're both going to be the 60-gram cylinders in the MK5 capsules or the Elite. This is where opening your life jacket comes into play. Again, breakaway zipper point. Right there. Same thing on the other side. Breakaway zipper point. This was Velcro, so it didn't need a breakaway. But let's go ahead and open this side up. There's my first oral inflation valve. There's where my MK5 capsule would go. To know this, to see UML5, that means it's not an Elite. It would say Elite if it was. Put my black capsule on here and my 60-gram on here. There's one side. Flips back in there. Okay, there's my pull handle. We'll go to this side, and there's my other oral inflation valve. Now the PRV isn't on this one. It's on this one over here, and there's my whistle. So you open your life jacket. Now I know where my valves are, where my whistle is, and then, see, there's no light here, but here's another attachment point from where a light would go. Right here. And then I get to see right here, because if you just don't open this, you wouldn't know. You think, okay, look, I could put my AIS unit right here. It looks perfect. But guess what? When this life jacket inflates, where is that valve now? On the back side of the life jacket. So now your AIS would be smashed back here. Opening my life jacket, taking an actual look at it, I find that this valve actually lands in the front. So I would have went ahead and put my AIS on here. Know what you're doing. All right, so that's the standard and the SOLAS. And again, you'll see dozens of different kinds of these, which is why open them, know what you got in them. That way you know what to get later and how to use it when it comes time to. And that's the difference between your regular standard life jackets versus your SOLAS dual valve, dual cylinder life jackets. Hope that helps.